media is so powerful. But the problem with television is we got so many guys on television who are full of shit. Like, I found out this when I was in Philadelphia. That's how long ago it was. A lot of guys, they're friends of mine. We'd be playing golf, and I'd say, what are you going to talk about today on the radio? They're like, blah, 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 blah. I says, wait, you going to talk about that? You don't believe that? He says, no, I don't believe that. But, Charles, these fools going to call in and argue with me for 4 hours.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? He said, Charles, we're trying to get viewers. We ain't. And I said, so when I got my job, I said, I want to always be authentic and truthful, because if I say something, I want people to, even if they disagree, because I don't think I'm right all the time, but ain't nobody going to be able to say, Charles said this to get clicks or whatever. I'm never going to do that, especially being a brother, because it's going to be few and far between for us. So we have to really handle our business.
Welcome to BodyWork. Welcome back. It's Michael Rogers. Welcome to BodyWork Boxing. Out of all the people in the world, Timothy Desert Storm Bradley gave an interview to Sean Zettel. Gotta give credit where it's due, because that's why I actually seen the interview. Man, best interview I ever seen from Tim Bradley. I couldn't believe it. I think it's come a point in time, and I guess I could appreciate that he felt comfortable enough to go to Sean Zettel and actually, do the interview. I guess that says a lot about Sean. They are talking about one of their guys in that whole circuit with Ward and Bud and all them guys, so he came out and he was very, very vocal about how Shakur Stevenson needs to grow up. Yes, about how Shakur Stevenson needs to grow up. He said he basically need to pick the kind of style that he wants to be and be who he is and embrace it, and leave social media alone and don't worry about the fans, and just live with what the fans and the critics are going to say. Just live with it. Don't read it. Dismiss it. Don't care. Enjoy your family. Or become what the fans want you to become. And I heard a lot of people, man, it shocked me, man. It's a new trend in boxing right now where like true boxing junkies are being shamed for wanting to see violence in the ring. This is a first, and I think this is why a lot of people start straying away and their eyes get to looking at UFC and they get to doing other things, because as a fan who pay money to watch or to attend, you don't come from inner city streets, hoods, whatever you want to call it or classify it as. You don't come from those environments where you see violence almost every day, and then all of a sudden you spend all this money and your parents or your grandparents or your friends lumped together, and you say, or somebody come by and they give you this to be able to attend, and you say, you walk away like, oh, that was so artful, that was so beautiful, that was so poetic. It's like, no, you want to see justice rendered in the ring. Especially when you saying you're levels above somebody. And, Tim said it all, man. He basically said, I was shocked. It's not even a need for me to actually re-express all of the points that I have to make, because if you go back and you watch that video, you watch and just listen, give your time that video, give your time to that video, and actually see what Tim said, you understand exactly where a lot of us are coming from. And it's a shame that you gotta say, you gotta preface everything with, I rock with this fighter, or I'm not doing all of that. If you follow along enough, you already know when somebody actually outright hates or have a disdain for a fighter, because they never ever have anything positive to say about it. It's like pulling teeth. They don't voluntarily. Now, they'll speak about them for the likes, clicks, and the views, but you'll rarely ever hear them say anything positive unless they're trolling somebody at a present time or a moment. And it's this thing with Shakur where he's very smart. He looks at himself as being the smartest boxer in the game, you know, the best boxer in the game, and he prides himself on how smart he is. But he does this thing to where he feels like he has to tell the fans to go educate themselves on what boxing is and how it's the art of hit and not get hit, and it's not all about getting the knockouts. It's like, no, it's like not when you actually say before the fight that you want to stop this dude. Not when in the middle of the rounds you come out of the corner saying, I'm going to stop this dude. Not when you see people, the whole world watching you, and your grandfather is telling you, man, go ahead and stop this dude. Like, I mean, you just seen what they did to Oshaki, man. Like, I know, and you arguing, you going back and forth. Like, I respect my elders, you know what I'm saying? But like, when this family and this close knit, and you know that's in the corner, and then you're saying that you're gonna do this, it's like you gotta always under promise and over deliver. But you know, it's this thing where Shakur pretty much said that for those people that want me to stand there to get hit, to be able to exchange, it's like, you know, that's some old like reverse psychology type stuff. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, and if you're not hip enough to actually see what's going on there, then you will run with it. You will run with it. That'll be something that you just run with, and that'll be a talking point that, yeah, they want him. Because that's how it happens. Trolls will start saying, oh, what, they expect Shakur to just stand there and get hit. Nobody is asking Shakur Stevenson to stand there and get hit. So speaking to whoever's saying those kind of things, he's right. But he knows what people are saying. Listen, people come from New York. People come from Baltimore, people come from Brooklyn, you know, all over New York, all over from Pennsylvania. Like, it's a fight getting ready to come up with Jerron Boots Ennis in Philadelphia. You think them people are going in there to see artwork? No, them people are going in there because they see violence every day, and when they pay money, or when they come out and see, or when they click and they say, I'm about to go watch the best boxer, they're not looking for somebody to, like, they're looking for violence. And some of the biggest channels out here on YouTube are actually, they're advocated at 1 minute, and then they'll flip-flop to drive a whole nother narrative or point. Is this sloppy on YouTube? That's why this is that fruits and veggies, not that Reggie. Fact-based content, where as a fan, you go out there expecting violence in the ring. It's a gladiator sport. Especially when you're surrounded by you basically the living boxing gods, if you will, Andre Ward, Terrence Bud Crawford. You could call on Timbradley whenever you want. Hall of Famer. Ward, one of the greatest. Bud, currently right now, everybody has him as Uno right now. And then you at the club with Floyd at 3, just talking about boxing all night. So it's a mind game where you actually make it seem like people don't appreciate defense. And I'm ashamed that I actually got to come out and do a video like this, because it really don't need to be said. People know daggone well when they go on to click on into a boxing match, they expect violence. They see it everywhere else. That's a place where you can go. You've been commissioned. You've been trained. You say that you are levels above. It's about to get scary. It's about to get spooky. And then when you don't do triangle theory, but when people look at Artem's face after the Shakur fight, and they look at Artem's face after the Frank fight, combined with the fact that Frank actually made him take a knee in that fight, there was violence. You can see it. That's what people walk away from it. Leon Muhammad was one of the most, coming from that area, one of the most brutally honest people. He's up in age. He said he don't have time to sugarcoat. And he hit the nail on the head, and you can't do nothing but agree with the OG. And a lot of people I ride for Wally for what I know he means to Shakur and the whole thing, just like Coach Calvin and Tank. Like, I look at them all like that, these guys. Some of these guys. Look at it the same way, but that's arguing with grandpops and then coming out painting this narrative like people can't accept greatness and appreciate greatness. They don't know what they looking like. That might work on, I guess, if you're trying to offend the casual fan base and all that, cool. But let's not forget, when you promise something and you don't deliver, as a consumer, you have the right, just like anything else. You go see a horrible movie, you're going to give a review. You get a horrible product, you're going to give a review. This wasn't a horrible product. This was just, you set a promise of this going on. And then we seen something else. It's the same thing that another champion did. Said he was going to do X, Y, and Z and never even knock the guy down. I mean, but it's a different standard when it comes to other boxers, because other boxers want to be affiliated with the knockout artists. You know, everybody want to be affiliated with the Southpaw knockout artists from B-More. Everybody want to just attach their name and be in that realm and do all of this. It's a whole different demographic. People know that when he get in the ring, they expect violence. They don't know when it's going to happen. It's just like it can happen at any moment, or it's over a period of time, or something's going to happen. But they have an expectation for violence. That's why they all in, because they pretty much know that when they get in there, they're going to see violence in the ring. As poetic as Abdullah Mason fight, people are going to start tuning into him because they saw violence. That guy, Keith Cologne, the Puerto Rican cat out there that fought, when the people are going to tune into him because he went to the body so much and he got so violent in his, like, believe that was his debut. They're going to be checking for him because they know that, okay, we see that out here, but if we do pursue this, or there is a way where we can get this off and we can do that, yeah, they can stick and move and do all of that. But at the end of the day, you got to live with your style. You got to cater to your style. And you got to deal with what the consumers are saying. You can't offend the consumers, man. You're not on my level, you don't make this much, you don't have this, you never in life you haven't. It's not as bad as some of these other boxers, man, but it's not, you know, I'm starting to wonder, I'm like, well, who is the kid now? I thought I knew. I know inside the ring, he has an exceptional set of skills. He's defensive oriented. But just like Tim Bradley said, it has to be balanced. It has to have something that's, you know, you make them miss, but then you make them pay. That's what happened with Floyd. Floyd was a Teflon Don, and yeah, he got cracked a couple times, but he was a Teflon Don. But when he made you miss, it was violence right after that. So, I mean, you know, I'm okay with who Shakur Stevenson is as a fighter. You know, my expectations is going to be set where they are. You know, I'm not going to lower them for anybody, and I'm not going to shame other fans for not getting violence when they want to see it in the ring. So I think that, man, still a bright future. Still might go down as one of the greatest boxers to ever lace up. He might. But I think that it's time to just do like Leon Muhammad said. He said, man, sit down, do some soul searching, and just, you know what I'm saying, figure out where you want to go and do with this thing. Because now, you know, I'm not going to say burn bridges, but now it's almost like you out there now. And it might come down to a point to where you taking advice, salute to Aaron Jones. Like Aaron Jones said, taking advice from Bud, which it's a good person to take advice from Bud, but Bud is at the end of his career. He fights a certain style and delivers a certain product, and he's achieved a certain level of success that you've achieved a different level. So in some things it'd be cool, but you out there now. You know, listening to Andre Ward, a great person to listen to, because he might tell you, hey, at this point I might do a little bit of this, and maybe that's who you are listening to. Whoever you're listening to, whoever it is, But some fans gonna say, look, man, we rock with you, but you know, it's not how you're making it appear to be when it comes down to boxing. People don't have any ill will or disrespect for Shakur Stevenson. People know, just like I could imagine, Wally know what you're capable of. We hear about it all the time. Everybody know what you're capable of. But when we hear, oh man, you got a 50% of me, and you know, that was only half of me, and oh man, his power, oh, he's strong, oh man, he can crack. Like when we hear stuff like that, but like as a fan, man, if you was watching your favorite fighter, let's just say your favorite fighter let's just say it might have been Sugar Ray Leonard or Pernell Whitaker. If you ever heard him say something like that, how would you be thinking? It's food for thought, man, like for everybody listening. Should we not expect violence anymore, or is it just a double standard? Because when another boxer fight, if he don't get the knockout, people will lie and say, oh, he was down on rounds and he was losing and he was this and this and that. They'll paint this whole narrative, oh, he was getting outboxed, when they never stopped and looked at the stats from the Isaac Pitbull Cruz. I did a video of it back then. If you go back and look at it, you will see all of the stats and all of the lines where of course he's gonna out jab Pitbull, but he outlanded Pitbull. Only thing Pitbull had more success in was going to the body. And you don't even have to account for the injury. He outlanded him, and he still was 0.4% away from landing his power shots in that fight. So even though he didn't get a knockout in that Isaac Pitbull Cruz fight, he still enacted violence. It was still ooh and ah moments, and you know, things to look forward to and things that keep you on your edge of your seat. Like, it was risky. But play it safe, man. Play it safe, man. I guess if that's what it's gonna be, it's just gonna play it safe in this. Well, I mean, will you play it safe in anything in life? You play it too safe, just like on the stock market. Too safe, you're gonna get the too safe results. They're good results. In the long term, in hindsight, down the road, in the age well game, yeah, it's gonna age very, very well. But in the moment, fans want to see violence. I agree with Tim. I agree with Leon Muhammad. I agree with these people that actually, I agree with Cam and Mace as far as what they were saying. Not the whole, you know, the back and forth, because I hate, because people use that to show how we'll go at each other's throat. I don't like that aspect, but what they were actually saying, the message that they were trying to get across, I agree with them all. Let me know what you think about it in the comments section. Holler at me. Talk to me. I'll talk back. Thanks for tuning in to Bodywork Boxing. But we don't take things for face value. We do that body work.